Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I don't know about anybody else, but I didn't need a special Thursday in the second to the last month of the year to cause me to be thankful. And as such, its passing does not stop my being thankful. Can I just ask real quick if there's anybody in here who knows that you are thankful, and it doesn't matter what day of the week it is? When you think about how good God has been, you know, Brother Clarence, you know what I'm talking about. You know that God deserves to be praised. It really stands as the point for my introduction, and just permit me to just jump in without much setup. But for those who don't know how to be thankful, let me just bring to you this caution. Ingratitude is dangerous. It's dangerous. I don't believe that many of us actually realize how much really is contained when we contain our gratitude. I don't know if we really fully grasp what all there is that grips us when we refrain from giving thanks. As a matter of fact, leading lives of praise and of gratitude are necessary. As a matter of fact, they're necessary even for relational strength. Nothing, it has been said, can damage a relationship more than ingratitude. Parents versus children, husbands versus wives, employees versus bosses. Ingratitude is a relationship killer. Ingratitude allows us the privilege of seeking only that which is personally satisfying and eliminating the usefulness of people who provide all too much for our lives. I'm sure that you've heard the story of a little boy who wanted his mother to pay him for all of the services he was rendering in the home. Shirley Caesar wrote a song about it, talks about the little boy who wrote a note for his mother, and he wrote on that note, "For washing the dishes, you owe me $1. For cleaning my room, you owe me $1. For hanging up my clothes, you owe me $1. For mowing the lawn, you owe me $1. Mama, comma, you owe me, pay up." He printed out the bill totaling $4 and gave it to his mother. Brother Cleota's mother came back and put $4 on the kitchen table with a note of her own. Can I read to you Mom's note? "For carrying you 9 months, being sick as a dog, no charge. For staying up all night with you, night after night, when you were sick, no charge. For working overtime so that I could get you those special tennis shoes, no charge. For entertaining your friends when you wanted to bring them over without notice, no charge. Signed, your mother who loves you. Total, $0. After reading the note, the young man realized that he had lost sight of how good his mother had been to him. He had turned the love relationship into a business deal, all through one act called ingratitude. He was really saying to his mother what a lot of us as God's children say to him: "You owe me, pay up." We look at God and all that he's done for us, and we demand that God see what we are giving and return to us what we believe is appropriate. For being kind to my neighbor, you owe me. For not cussing out my boss, you owe me. For not cheating on my spouse, you owe me. For showing up to church the Sunday after Thanksgiving, you owe me. Just want to help a couple of y'all out because I know it. I get it. For working in ministry, you owe me. For not giving up, you owe me. And honestly, if we were to print the bill for the Lord, a lot of us would actually stand back and wait on the Lord to pay what he owes. Can I read God's bill? For waking you up every morning. Nope, y'all ain't talking to me. I thought maybe y'all had kind of found the rhythm on where we were. For putting the air in your lungs. No charge. For making your limbs work. No charge. For giving your eyes to see. No charge. For giving your legs to, I almost feel like preaching right now. No charge. Would you lean over and tell somebody, I'm glad God's not charging me. If the truth were told, if he gave us a bill, not any day of the week could you or I satisfy and pay him what we owe him. And I don't mean to be anticlimactic, but in truth, the only payment he requires is our gratitude. Lord, help me. If thanks was an American Express, baby, you got the highest level card, you got the black card. All he wants is your can I just get a few folk to put a little something down on your bill? Even right, do we have to wait on a special moment? I mean, can I get somebody to just go on and say, God, I might not have it all, but let me give you this minimum payment of praise right here. I don't know what's on your list, but somebody that can look at your own life and read the bill of what God has done for you. I mean, I don't know how you gotta pay it, but God deserves to be paid. He does. He does. He does. He does. Watch this. Thanksgiving is not only a relationship killer, but Thanksgiving is essential to personal victory. The famous stress researcher Hans Sale claims that two attitudes more than any other influence the quality of everyday life. And on these two emotions, quote, depend our peace of mind, our feelings of security or insecurity, of fulfillment or frustration. In short, the extent to which we make a success of life. Are you ready for these? The most destructive emotion is revenge. Now, I really want to spend a little time there, Deaconess George, but I don't want to shift the focus of the presentation today. But somebody needs to grab that in your heart, that in reality, one of the things that you've done to damage the effectiveness of your own life is try to get back on folk who had gotten you. And so for those who are still struggling, let me remind you that God says vengeance is mine. You know, God is better at getting back than you are. I wish I could talk to you right there. That's not the one I want to focus on. In contrast, however, among all of the emotions, there is one which more than any other accounts for the absence or presence of stress in all human relations. It is the feeling of gratitude. Did you catch that? I'm going to run it by you again. No other emotion either suffices or stresses more than gratitude. There's nothing else that you can present in any relationship, in any endeavor in your life that's going to do more to supply or stress than your gratitude. It's interesting then to happen upon this very familiar psalm that I believe contains foundational truth for us if you and I are to remain grateful. King David, who authors this praise, seems to be reminding himself of the need to thank, praise, and bless the Lord. Actually, we don't know exactly when this psalm was composed. Some have suspicions that it must have been while David was older in life, having seen the grace of God manifested many times over in his life. Yet even with that point of reference, David seems distressed in this moment over his own lack of thankfulness. Yes, this psalm, if you look at it intently, it is interrogative, because at its onset, we find King David very literally commanding his own soul to bless the Lord. I want you not to miss this. Put it up on the screen for me once again. Brother Patrick, I want you to see this. He says in verse 1 of Psalms 103, bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me. Bless his holy name. He is not talking to God in this moment. He is talking to himself. And I want you not to miss this. He is talking to himself with the command, bless the Lord. What is it, I wonder, that has caused David to feel the need to command himself to be thankful? What is it that made him stop being thankful? What is it that made him ungrateful? Maybe he was overwhelmed by the number of trials that he had to endure. Maybe he had recently experienced great loss. Maybe he had seen betrayal at the hands of those that he trusted. Maybe even it's simply that his worship had become routine and he had lost his ardor for the Lord. Well, I don't know what David's reason was, but can you think of your own reason? Times when you have lost your thankfulness. As a matter of fact, it's a question that I think you need to ask yourself, Tori. What is it that has caused me to lose my thankfulness? Those times when if I just stood up and told a real true testimony, I would have to tell you, good evening, saints and friends. I don't feel like praising God today. Ain't nobody gonna be real right now, but I know that you've had those moments, because I have had those moments, and I'll tell the truth since I got the microphone. Brother Reed, there have been moments in my life where I did not want to, did not feel like it. I was too much in my own feelings, in my own emotions, trying to factor out why God was being so unkind. And so, Sister April, I reckon that there were moments I was justified sitting in the sanctuary and containing my praise. You ain't gonna say amen right there, but I know it's at least 17 people in the room right now who are struggling with the fact that, I'm here and he ought to be glad about that. Matter of fact, the only reason I'm here is like the same reason I don't call in on the day before a holiday, because I might not get paid. Y'all ain't talking to me. I don't want him to add on to what he's allowed to happen in my life. But in truth, I have very real moments, if I could be real honest. There are moments when the cross is swinging around my neck and the vestments are flowing across my body. And even in some of those moments, I don't want to. You remember how many anniversaries we had? I ain't even want to say happy anniversary. Y'all ain't talking. Do you remember how many you had? You didn't want to say happy anniversary. Y'all act like every day is nice. Every day is rosy. Y'all just skipping through the tulips. You know, you just so happy. That's a lie. Sometimes I look at the Lord and I'm like, well, I'm awake, thank you, but I really ain't feeling like giving you no more than that. Wish I could talk to some people who would be honest, because I believe David is in one of these moments. Maybe it was after his daughter had been raped. Maybe David has to tell himself this in a moment when his own son has betrayed him. Maybe David is sitting just outside of a moment after he dealt with Goliath. Maybe David is in a place where he's looking at God taking the life of his child after he had been with Bathsheba. Maybe David is in that moment where he's running for his life when Saul is trying to kill him. There are real moments that you just don't feel like giving praise. But in those moments, that's when you got to learn how to command yourself. Bless the Lord, my soul, and all that is within. Is there anybody in here who knows that sometimes you got to jack yourself up and say, I wish you would not praise him. I wish you would sit there and act like God ain't been. You better lift your hands. You better give him thanks. You better open your mouth. And you ain't talking to nobody else, but sometimes you got to tell yourself, you better bless him. Matter of fact, can I get you to practice? Don't touch your neighbor. Touch yourself and say, bless the Lord. Sometimes you need to gut check yourself. Say, I wish you would not. I wish you would go to church any Sunday and don't open your mouth. I don't care if you ain't got a voice. You better say it and mouth it. David commands himself. Please don't miss this. Please don't miss this, Marie. He commands himself. Jasmine, he tells himself, you gotta bless him. And then he shows us at least a couple of reasons why you have to be thankful, totally thankful. Here's the first reason. He shows us rather, thankfulness will keep your memory in check. Okay. Show me verse 2, if you don't mind. He tells himself twice. And in verse 2, he says, bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all his just benefits. David expresses to us what I believe is a great principle in thankfulness, that rehearsal helps remembrance. Okay. Sometimes anybody danced, anybody had to learn choreography. You had to learn one step after the other. Y'all don't dance. Or I guess the kind of dancing y'all do don't require choreography or nothing like. Okay then. You ever had to learn a song and for some reason, praise team, y'all understand this. You had to try to learn a song and you just couldn't get the words. You mess up. And whether it was the words, Sister Ashley knows this well, whether it's the words, and if you had the kind of choir directing praise team leaders and people that I've had in my life, we didn't have screens and they weren't giving you paper. You had to know. You had to memorize. Here's the way I like it when the kids would say it. You have to know it by heart. Yeah, see, some of us, we know God by head. But we don't know him yet by heart. But Brother Andrew, when you know him by heart, it's the process of consistent rehearsal that helps you to remember. Whenever you get it wrong, then you know that if you just do it again, it kind of locks it into your memory, that if I ever come close to being able to not remember or recapitulate what God has done, I got to do it again. Sometimes you got to remind yourself over and over of what God has done for you. And in case you don't have a list of your own that you can remember, can I just read to you David's list of benefits? Watch the list. It follows right into verses 3 through 5. He says about the Lord, he forgives all my iniquities. That's a benefit. That's a benefit. He heals all of my diseases. That's a benefit. He redeems my life from destruction. I was almost gone, but he snatched me back. That's a benefit. He crowns me with loving kindness. That's a benefit. He gives me tender mercy. Some of y'all give mercy, but it ain't tender. But he gives me tender mercies. That's a benefit. And then this is one of my favorites. He satisfies my mouth with good things. Y'all ain't hearing me. Only the Lord can satisfy you so completely with good things. It's almost a catch-all. If the first 4 things don't make you happy, he's just going to fill it up with good things. That's a benefit. David said, by the time I get through thinking about my benefits, I realize I've got reason to bless the Lord. Can I just challenge you real quick? Take about 8 seconds and think of your own benefits. I don't know what you've dealt with in your life, however long you've been alive, but I'm sure by now you've arrived at a few benefits. God didn't let that man who was beating me kill me. Benefit. God didn't let them folks fire me off that job. Benefit. That disease I thought was going to be one thing, God allowed penicillin to knock it out. Benefit. You ain't got to say amen. I'm telling somebody's testimony right now. Would you lean over and give your neighbor a high five and tell them, I've got benefits. And when I replay my benefits, Aisha, thankfulness erupts. It's the benefits. Y'all ain't catching this. It's the benefits, Maria, that sometimes help me to keep with God. It's like a woman who was so discouraged on a job. She had gotten a great review, a positive performance evaluation, but she didn't get a raise. Had a great review, great performance or evaluation of her performance, but no raise. And she knew she could go to another company to get more money. She knew how valuable she was, but she wouldn't do it. She refused to leave the company. And when she was asked why she was hesitant to leave her present position, she responded very quickly, I've been here so long. Even if I could get more money, the benefits, y'all ain't talking to me. Can I just see the hands of people who know what it's like to take home pay may not be what you want it to be, but these benefits are just too good. Listen, let me just talk to the folk who know Jesus. Sometimes I question what the Lord allows me to see from one day to the next, but I can't quit because these benefits are just too good. The fact that I know I'm not going to hell, that's a benefit. because they would be ashamed to have to live in hell, deal with free folk who act like hell, and then die and go to hell. I got a benefit. That's not it. That's not it. I'm almost done. Watch the text. He says he shows us not only does thankfulness keep our memory in check, but thankfulness will give you strength. Okay, Stephanie, this one is for you. Are you ready? Notice, if you will, that everything David lists as a benefit has one goal in mind. It's there at the end of verse 5. As a matter of fact, even the way they are listed grammatically is an indication all of its own to the conspicuous conclusion that is drawn. There are, watch it now, from verse 3 to verse 5, no periods after any benefit. The benefits really literally seem to grow one after the other. As a matter of fact, they're all punctuated with pauses to let us know the list is continuous and by default stackable. So each benefit builds on the one before it. Y'all, okay. And now watch this now, because Saros, the result of all of these stackable benefits is that my youth is renewed. Like I'm about to scream up in this place. My youth is renewed like the eagles. Don't you miss this. Watch this. Our strength is renewed when we are thankful. Yes, sir. Notice now, it's easy to get weary and decide not to be thankful. But when you're thankful, you get strength. I shouldn't say this verse right now, but if you remember, Isaiah 40 and 31 tells us, they that wait upon the Lord, what happens to them? They renew their strength. They mount up with wings like eagles. They'll run and not be weary. They will walk and not faint. Some things only happen when you are thankful. I like the fact that he says we get strength like an eagle. The eagle, as one writer puts it, is the very symbol of buoyancy, tireless strength. The eagle is the strongest, most fearless, and most majestic of all of the birds. However, at about 5 years of age, the eagle goes through a molting process. In the molting process, Brother Deverard, he loses all of his feathers, only to have them replaced by new ones. This gives the appearance of renewed youth in the eagle. During the molting process, the eagle looks sick. He looks weak. But as the process completes itself, the eagle has the look and the feel of renewed strength and energy. This is exactly what thankfulness does for you and for me. That even in the moments when we feel the most sickly, even in the moments where we feel the weakest, thankfulness, Deaconess Ferguson, allows us to shake off whatever's old and holding us down. Y'all ain't talking to me, but I wish I had at least 4 of y'all who could see the significance of the fact that whenever I'm thankful, something old falls off and something new comes on me. I wish I could get at least 18 people who would understand that every time I'm thankful, he gives me new strength. Every time I'm thankful, he gives me new mercy. Every time I lift my hands and bless him, he gives me a level of joy that I did not have before. Have I got one witness? I don't know. It's Thanksgiving. I might as well holler. Would you lean over and tell your neighbor, I've got to learn how to be thankful. The reason I've got to learn how to be thankful is because I can't let life get me down so much that I forget how good God has been to me. Have I got one witness? I can't let the worries and pressures of this life bring me to a place that I forget to give God praise. Because every time I give God praise, Lady Kim, I feel my strength coming back. Every time I give God praise, I feel my joy coming back. Every time I give God praise, it makes me ready for the next level of trouble. It makes me ready for the next test. Have I got one witness? Is there anybody in here can say, I'm getting ready to command my soul? We've got to bless the Lord. I might not have eaten what I wanted to eat, but I'm going to command my soul to bless him. I might not have much money as I want to have, but I'm going to command my soul to bless him. I might not have the friends that I want around me, but I'm going to command my soul to bless him. I need somebody to get mad at yourself and soul. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that is within me. Have I got one witness? Can't you feel yourself getting stronger now? Every time I think about what God has done for me, can I take about 5 more seconds just to tell you why I'm thankful? I'm not just thankful for the money in my pocket. I'm not just thankful for the clothes on my back. I'm not just thankful for the family that lives in my house, but I'm thankful for the little things, the things I sometimes overlook. Oh, you just missed one of the things I'm thankful for. I'm still breathing. I'm still alive. I could have been dead, sleeping in my grave, but I'm still here. I'm gonna command my soul. You got to bless the Lord. Ain't nobody feeding me this week. I put the food on my plate and I fed myself. I'm gonna command my soul to bless the Lord. When I got dressed this morning, thinking ain't nobody dressed me, I did this by myself. I've got to command my soul to bless the Lord. Is there anybody in here that can say for a moment that I'll stop being thankful? I'm gonna bless the Lord and everything that's within me. My mind is gonna bless him, and my mouth is gonna bless him. My hands are gonna bless him, and my feet are gonna bless him. Would you find another thankful person? Tell them, come on, let's bless the Lord. If he doesn't do another thing, he's worthy to be praised. Have I got one witness? Somebody shout yes, shout yes, shout yes. Is it all right on the Sunday after Thanksgiving if we forget about ourselves and bless the name of the Lord? Somebody knows he's been good. I heard you when you said he's been good to me and I've been to myself. You don't understand, but shout out real good to me. I know how to take me out. I know how to buy me nice stuff. I know how to lay me down at night. And I know how to wake myself up in the morning and put on some real cute. God has been better to me than I've been to myself. I wish I could feel like I feel it. Because right about now, I feel good because I'm thinking about how good he's been. I'm realizing now that I have a reason to bless the Lord. Not just didn't just heal all of David's diseases, but he healed all of mine. He didn't just forgive all of David's iniquities, he forgave all of mine. And when I'm down and depressed, he crowns me with loving kindness. Shout yes, shout yes. Somebody open your mouth and bless the Lord. Come on, bless I need you to just get about 2 or 3 people that just look at them. Don't touch them. Just look at them. Just look at them. Don't touch them. Just look at them. Now, they might not even be next to you. They might be across the aisle, but just find 2 or 3 people and just when you see somebody, just point out. Just point at them. Just point at them. Now, I need you in a minute to command them like you're commanding yourself. I want you to look at them like they owe you $500. And you're going to get to them before the benediction is given. Y'all ain't hearing me. And on the count of 3, I don't want you to say anything but 3 words. But you got to say it with the intensity, as if you're saying it to yourself, because this is practice for later. Because what the devil doesn't expect you to do is to be thankful when you're depressed, thankful when you're broke, thankful when you are without, thankful when you are sick. So find somebody and practice like that's your own soul. And on the count of three, I just want you to tell them, bless the Lord. That's it. Don't say nothing else. Because if they don't respond right, it's going to be trouble in the house. Are you ready? You got them, you got them, you got them. 1, 2, 3. See the hands of folk who are thankful, folk who know how to change the course of your life just by blessing the Lord. Now you practice on them. I need you to practice on yourself, because when you leave the church at some point in this week, the devil is going to try you. But I want to know, can you command yourself to bless the Lord? So on the count of three, I want you to bless him. I want you to tell yourself to bless him. Are you ready? Put your hand on yourself. Are you ready? Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. You Tell your neighbor, I gotta bless him. I've got to. I've got to. I mean, I know we're not having testimony service, but just trust me, my praise is communicating the fact that God has been good to me. And so even in the moments that I gotta tell myself to bless him, I will bless him at all times. How could I not? How could I not bless him? I looked at his bill for feeding me and clothing me. I gotta bless him. I looked at his bill for answering prayers. Some of the stuff I prayed for wasn't even for me, but he kept coming through. He just kept making ways. He just kept being God. This when I had a plate full of food. Oh, but I made it to the Lord's house. I might as well bless him. I might as I'm really thankful. Thank you, Lord. You've been God for me. You have. Nobody else can do what you've done. And see, I play it over in my mind too often to actually even forget about. I can call it up so quickly because I know by heart what God has done for me. And I said that makes me know that everything he's already done, he's still able. He's still powerful. He can do it again, Sean. That's why I'm not tripping. That's why even when I get a little full of myself and I act like everything is okay, I remind myself I need the Lord. He's been good to me. He has been. He has been. He has been good to me. Some of you might need to go home this evening and make out a list. This is how I know God's been good to me. Some of y'all are like, man, I actually made it out of high school. I'm still trying to figure that one out. Thank you, Lord. I don't know how I got this job. Thank you, Lord. Looking like I look and I got this wife. Thank you, Lord. Let's talk about somebody else. That ain't my testimony. We got to remind ourselves how worthy he is sometimes. And command yourself. The moments when you want to think I just don't feel like. I think it really blows my mind, Brother Willie, that David emphatically says, Saul, bless the Lord. Everything that's in me has to bless him. And it's got to be the daily practice for people who are in relationship with the Lord. Don't let your ingratitude destroy your relationship. Don't let it do it.